What is going on, movie lovers? So, we've got to talk about what just happened at the box office, because it is a real head scratcher. Paramount is a big budget tribute of Sir Running Man. Starring the man of the moment, Glen Powell, was supposed to be a sure thing, coming off the massive success of Top Gun, Maverick, and Twists. Powell seemed unstoppable. The film had a budget of $110 million. Edgar Wright, the visionary behind Baby Driver, was the acting. And it was based on a Stephen King novel. All the ingredients for a blockbuster were. So, what went wrong? Well, in a twist nobody saw coming. Sir Running Man completely stumbled out of the gate. It opened to a shockingly low $17 million in CEU. It earned only $28 million worldwide, to add insult to injury. It was completely overshadowed billions got the price hit. Now you see me, now you don't. Which magically pulled $21 million domestically and a whopping $75 million globally out of its head. How did a movie with so much going for it fail so spectacularly? This isn't just about one movie flapping. It is a story about studio politics, marketing mishaps, and maybe, just maybe, audiences telling us they're tired of certain kinds of reboots. Let us rewind a bit and look at the chaos happening behind the scenes at Paramount when you see a movie faulted this badly. It is often not just one thing, but a perfect storm of problems. And for Sir Running Man, the storm started right at the top. The movie was greenlit and the old leadership at Paramount led by Brian Robbins. But then, a massive leadership change happened. David Ellison and the new guard took over. This is a classic Hollywood problem. A new studio head inherits a slate of movies they didn't personally choose. They might not be passionate about them. Or they might have completely different goals for the studio. From what we're hearing, the new leadership just wasn't that into Sir Running Man after they saw it. This indifference can be a death sentence for a big movie. If the people at the very top aren't championing a project, that lack of enthusiasm trickles down. It affects everything, especially the marketing budget and strategy. Think of it like this: if your new boss doesn't believe in the project you've been working on for a year, are you going to give it your all? Probably not. The film was basically an orphan, left to fend for itself in a cutthroat market. But the leadership change wasn't the only problem. The marketing department was also in total disarray. The studio's global marketing boss, Mark Weinstock, left in the fall, leaving a huge void just as the campaign for Sir Running Man should have been kicking into high gear. The new marketing guru, Josh Goldstein, didn't even start until October 15th, just 1 month before the movie's release. Inside said that in the meantime, the marketing team was in limbo. They were waiting for their new boss to arrive and read job cuts looming. Nobody knew WHO to take the action from. It was a state of pelasas. This meant the crucial final leg of the marketing campaign was severely hampered. Josh Goldstein is a legend. He's the guy who navigated Warner Bros. Through the tricky date and data releases and helped make hits like Dune and The Batman. He is known for pulling the bats out of his head at the last minute, and he tried when he came on board. He reportedly pushed out new trailers that tried to emphasize different themes and target different demographics. The first trailer is a simple concept: Glen Powell versus the world just wasn't connecting with people. But by then, it might have been too little, too late. The damage was already done. Now, it isn't like the movie was a total disaster in screenings. In fact, it tested really well in the high 80 segundos. The wide studio was confident enough to give it a prime November holiday release date. They even moved it on to find the perfect spot. First, it was up against Wicked. Then it was set against the new Predator movie. It finally landed on November 14th. Which insiders call the James Bond date, a historically great launch pad right before Thanksgiving. It even secured the MX screens, which is a big deal. Everything seemed to be lining up for success, at least on paper. But the tracking numbers told a different story. 3 weeks before its release, projections were only around $20 million for the opening weekend, for a movie that cost $110 million to make and was supposed to launch a new franchise. That is a disaster. When studios see numbers like that, panic sets in. And what's the first thing to go when the numbers look bad? The marketing budget. Sources say that is exactly what happened here. Paramount saw the writing on the wall and decided to cut its losses, pulling back on the marketing spend. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Weak tracking leads to a smaller marketing push, which leads to a weak opening. Then came the reviews. When the critics' opinions dropped on Tuesday of release week, advance ticket sales reportedly took a nosedive. The reviews went terrible. Mind you, Sir Running Man actually had a better Rotten Tomatoes score than Now You See Me 3, 64% fresh versus 59% rotten. Both movies even got the same Bema Cinemas score from audiences, so if the quality was comparable, what gives? Why did one soar while the descent? The simple answer is that people just wanted to see the magician movie more. Now You See Me 3 appealed to a much broader audience, especially women. It was a fan. PG-3 ensemble heist movie. Running Man, on the hand, was an R-rated dystopian sci-fi action film that primarily appealed to all the men. Post-screening polls showed that Glen Powell himself was only the reason people went to see the movie. After it looked fun and exciting in the sci-fi genre, and the terror rating was a significant hurdle. Both of Powell's biggest hits, Top Gun, Maverick, and Twisted, were PG-13, allowing them to reach a much wider demographic. Running Man simply couldn't compete with the four-quadrant appeal of its rival. So, does this mean the Glen Powell hype train has derailed? Is he not the bankable movie star you all thought he was? People close to the production are adamant that this failure shouldn't be seen as a reflection on him. Like actors such as Ryan Reynolds or Tom Cruise, Powell is known for being incredibly hands-on. He rolls up his sleeves, gets involved in the promotion, and genuinely cares about the final product. And here's an interesting detail: despite all the old numbers, the movie actually played really well in Middle America. Not just in the coastal cities where sci-fi usually does best. That suggests Powell's appeal is broad and that with the right project and prop studio support, it can definitely draw a crowd. This wasn't a star problem, it was a studio and strategy problem. This whole situation also raises a big, more troubling question for Hollywood. Is the nostalgia for 80s sci-fi reboots officially dead? Running Man is just the latest in a string of high-profile failures. Remember Tran, Ares? A $220 million movie that only made $141 million worldwide. Or what about 2017 BLADRUNNIR2049 signo de interrogación critically acclaimed. But it barely broke even with a budget of over $150 million. It seems that, even with a hot star and a cool director, reviving these cult classics is an incredibly risky bet. The massive success of Denis Villeneuve Dune movies seems to be the exception that proves the rule. And let's not forget, the original David Lynch Dune, from 1984, was a notorious bomb. This leads to the most obvious question of all: why remake Running Man in the first place? The original 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie wasn't even a huge hit back then. It made just $38 million, which was considered a step down for him after the success of Predator. It's a beloved cult film for a specific audience, but it was never a mainstream blockbuster. One source summed it up perfectly: only all the males showed up this weekend. Men over 25 made up almost half the audience. The film just didn't have the broad modern appeal needed to justify its massive budget. It was a movie made for a niche audience that no longer guarantees a big return on investment. The failure of Running Man is a harsh lesson. It shows that, in today's landscape, you can't just slap a fresh coat of paint on an old property and expect people to show up. You need a passionate studio behind you, a killer marketing plan, and a concept that connects with today's audiences. Without all those pieces in place, even a rising star like Glen Powell can save a movie from running out of gas. What do you guys think? Were you excited for Running Man? Did you even know it was coming out? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It is a fascinating case study and a can't state of Hollywood. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more movie analysis. See you in the next video.